What I'm about to share with you applies to everyone, no matter what they do in their careers, businesses, and even their private life. I'm just using sales as an example. Way back when I was first full-time in sales and for several years thereafter, there was no internet, no computers, and no mobile telephones. Calculators and fax machines had only just been invented and were very expensive and hard to come by. When it came to typing letters, we used typewriters. And we had to be totally focused, know precisely what we wanted to say, and be extremely careful not to make any mistakes when typing. There was no backspace or erase on a typewriter. If we made a mistake, we had to start all over again. As for calculating costs and preparing quotations, we had to be really good at maths, and it took an awful lot longer than a few taps of the thing on a calculator. When it came to prospecting for new business and selling, there were basically only 4 methods available to me. Cold calling on the telephone, sending a letter, followed by a telephone call several days later, cold calling in person, commonly known as door knocking, and obtaining referrals from others, which still involved all the other ways to contact people. Yet in spite of the seemingly restricted ways of doing business, I was just as productive back then as I am today, and in fact more so. In those days, the 80-20 rule applied in sales. 80% of sales came from 20% of the sales team. The reason being that the top 20% worked diligently and the 80% were somewhat lazy or lacked the skills and were not coachable or had no one to coach them. So much has changed since then. But in spite of the many additional tools we have at our disposal, the 80-20 rule still applies. Why isn't everyone selling so much more? There's of course many reasons for this: increased competition, internet savvy buyers, etc., all of which can be overcome. But I believe there are 2 fundamental reasons: lack of focus and too many distractions. I just had 4 things to focus on: composing and typing excellent letters, making telephone calls to prospects and customers, cold calling face-to-face. I walked miles around factory estates and office blocks, knocking on doors and asking to see a DM. And I always asked for referrals, whether I sold to a prospect or not. I had no other distractions, so could stay totally focused on sales, or be like the 80% of the salespeople now do and just laze around and do little. But I needed and wanted the money and the prestige of being recognised as one of the best. So the moral to the story: if you want to be the very best you can be, sure, use all the tools you have available to you to help you do more business, but stay focused and avoid distractions. It's really not that difficult, with just a little, or maybe a lot of self-discipline.